Along with women's basketball head coach Tom Collen, I'm Alex Perlman. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Bud, getting ready for another women's basketball game, this time Mississippi State's second home SEC game. Coach, coming off of that loss at Florida, learning a lot about your team. You learned that you got a couple of freshmen that can really go up and score against anybody. 23 points for Mackenzie Adams, 23 points for Jessica Jackson, both career highs. What kind of things did you take out of that kind of performance?
Well, certainly those two freshmen had great games, and I thought Jess got better as the game went on. I learned that they're not afraid to go out into a hostile environment playing against a great Florida team, and they're not afraid to take shots and try to find a way to help us win basketball games. And those were our expectations for them, I think, but for them to shine as early as they have, we've talked about it before, and for both of them to go out on the same night and score 23 career highs, I think it's a good sign for not just for the future, but I think for the remainder of this season.
What made the difference in that game? Very, very close throughout, have an opportunity to maybe take the lead in the last few minutes. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, it was tough. The defense was obviously very, very solid. We did a terrific job there. Just missed opportunities, I think. We missed some easy shots. Had a couple crucial turnovers, that didn't help us any. When you have three of your top six kids not make a basket in a game, that you're just not going to beat a quality opponent. And I've never had that happen before, and then plus we were down a starter. So, you try to, I always try to take the positives out of it, and I believe there are positives to be had with this situation, and hopefully we can take those, learn from it, and come back home and get a win against Mississippi State.
Well, looking to today's game against the Bulldogs, Arkansas could be back with one of their starters. We talked about it. Jasmine Bowen was lost for the last two games with injury. Close to coming back. What's the prognosis here for the game?
Well, we hope she's back. She's not cleared yet. She's still got some tests that she has to pass. We're very, very careful with our student athletes. I think in this day and age there's so much controversy around head injuries from the professional sport level all the way through. So we think student athlete first. That's the most important thing. So got to run her through a series of tests. We got to make sure she's 100% cleared by the doctor and that she wants to get back out on the floor. And I think she does, but I think she wants to be certain that she's not taking any risk with that.
All right, taking a look at this Mississippi State team, it's a team that loves to pressure you defensively. They average over 25 turnovers forced per game. You guys are great at turning the ball over as well. When you talk about the other team turning the ball over, of course, forcing 21 a game. What gives in this matchup? Just a bunch of defense that we're going to see and a lot of hands in a lot of places?
Well, I think you're seeing the team that forces the most turnovers in our league versus the team that turns the ball over the least number of times in Arkansas. So, I think that's where the rubber meets the road. Are we going to take care of the basketball? Because if we take care of the basketball against them, we've cut down on a lot of their offense. They love to turn you over and go score at the other end quickly. And, Florida was a good test that way because they get up and they pressure you pretty good, but they play a little bit more zone probably than Mississippi State. So that'll be a big stat line that we're looking at throughout the game.
Arkansas, by the way, only turning it over 13 times. As Coach just mentioned, a very impressive mark right now throughout the season. Last thing for you, Coach, they've got some really tough bookends. Katia May, their point guard, and then you got Martha Allwall, who is one of the top 5 in scoring and rebounding. How do you stop those weapons and maybe that connection throughout this game?
Well, Allwall's, she's a tough stop. She's a 6'4" kid, and when she gets the ball down on the low block close to the basket, she's tough. She can hit a 15-foot face-up shot, but she brings so much more to the game for them. You mentioned the rebounding. She cleans the defensive glass. She goes to the offensive boards. One of the best shot blockers in the nation, so she really clogs the paint defensively. It's hard to score down on the low block in her, and they do an outstanding job defensively. No one in our league, maybe nobody in the country, plays quite like they do defensively. They make you just play basketball. It's very hard to execute against them. We're going to have to find a happy medium where we get to execution to try to make some baskets executing, and then there's got to be times when they just force you into making plays, and we got to go make plays with the basketball.
And if they do make plays, could get to 2-2 in conference today here at Bud Walton Arena. Tip-off time 2 o'clock between Arkansas and Mississippi State. For Tom Collen, I'm Alex Perlman for Razor Vision.